When you're considered the greatest on the planet, you're supposed to perform at the highest of levels. And so far this postseason, Nikola Jokic has not lived up to that. But now the question we have to ask ourselves is, why is Nikola struggling? Is he struggling as much as it seems? And is it just great defense, or is he just missing shots? First thing we must discuss when it comes to Nikola, the numbers over the last 3 games. 21 points a game, 5 turnovers, 33% from the field, 18% from 3. Just not good enough. We're going to use yesterday's game as an example, a game where he had 27 points and 13 rebounds, and somehow he's so good that he still gets criticism for it. Right away in this first quarter, we saw why the Thunder are a tough matchup for Jokic. Similar to the Clippers, those two bigs of Hartenstein with Chet roaming as a helper make life more difficult than most teams. Jokic finished his night 7 of 22 from the field, but if you look at how the Thunder guarded him, multiple different looks, multiple different zone and man looks, even so, Jokic just missed a lot of shots that he normally makes, like that one. I thought this stat from Adam Young was very interesting. Jokic's jump shot frequency. In the Oklahoma City series, he's settling for jump shots 53% of the time, compared to only 40% jumpers in the regular season. And also, in the regular season, he was shooting a lot more layups, 32% layups in the regular season, but only 21.7% against OKC. Also gotten a lot of deserved criticism for his turnovers. One right here at the end of the first quarter where Jay Will does a great job deflecting the pass. Speaking of Jay Will, that's the thing with these Thunder. They have multiple physical bigs that can absorb Jokic's contact and stay with him on the perimeter. Think about it. How many open threes has Jokic shot this series? That defense from Jay Will again. These are shots that we know Jokic can make. He makes these in his sleep, but his touch just seems a little off. One of the craziest stats from Jokic is playoff three-point shooting. He's shooting 33.9% from 3 this playoffs. Of course, that factors in an 0 for 10 performance in this series. Compare that 33.9% to the percentage he shot when they won the championship. Do you know what he shot when they won the title? He shot 46% from 3 that year. The difference is staggering. Seems like it's a combination of a lot of things. The Thunder tiring him out with different looks, him just missing shots he normally makes, and maybe that elbow sleeve is a sign that something more is going on with his arm. But all these are excuses. If you're the best player on the planet, you're expected to perform and score at the highest of levels, and so far he has not done that. But even so, there are other factors of his game that do not get recognized. For example, yesterday Jokic's defense and assists did not get talked about enough. There's a steal in the first quarter, then later in the first quarter, look at his individual defense on Chet. Maybe some of his missed shots are because of the effort he's putting in on that end of the floor. We're playing a lot of zone in this game, by the way, with Jokic in the middle. Here's another great read, anticipating the lob and a takeaway. This is all still in the first quarter, by the way. The point I'm trying to make, there is more to the game and there is more nuance to the game than just scoring and field goal percentage. This is the problem I often have with basketball discourse. It's always black or white. It's always he either played terribly or he played great. But there's so much more nuance involved. Look at the defense again right here. There's another example of some great Jokic defense. Sliding his feet, great contest, meeting J-Dub at the rim. Similar to his defense yesterday that went under the radar, nobody's also going to talk about his playmaking because he only had 4 assists, but he should have had a lot more. I don't know, maybe I'm just making excuses for him, but I watched this game back and I'm like, look at how many times Jokic creates something. His gravity here draws 2 defenders. They get an open look in the corner. Christian Braun misses. Maybe that was semi-contested. Also, we have to factor in the fact that this Thunder defense is the most complicated defense he's probably ever faced. Here, he fakes the pass to Gordon on the cut, freezing Caruso, finding the open shooter in Michael Porter Jr., and again, he just misses. Here he goes again in the fourth quarter, scanning the floor, looking for where the double team is coming from, sees that it's coming from the middle, and just misses a shot that he normally makes. They get a second chance out of this, though. And once again, here he goes. He waits to see where the help defense goes. He sees the open shooter in Christian Braun, and again, a shooter misses a 3. Again, I'm not trying to blame his teammates either. My point being, a lot of different things could have gone differently for the Nuggets yesterday. It wasn't just about Jokic or his teammates. If some of these possessions go differently, the narrative is a lot different and his stats may look a lot different. He might have had a triple-double again. With all that being said, the Nuggets were down by 4 with 3:15 to go and he had 2 huge free throws. And on the night up to that point, he was 11 of 12 from the free throw line, but he had missed one previously in the fourth quarter, and then he did this. This is not because of his teammates or because of anything other than Nikola, and he'll tell you that himself. So here's the moral of the story. Do I think it was as bad as some people on the internet pointed it out to be? No, I think he was okay. Is he as good as they need him to be to win the series? Absolutely not. Did he perform like the best player on the planet? Again, no. Is he still the best player on the planet? That conversation for me personally, I want to wait till after this series to talk about. Now it gets really interesting for Nikola though, because for the first time, maybe in a long time, he is under scrutiny. Usually when an all-time great is under scrutiny, they respond with a vengeance the next game. What does he have in store in Game 5 and Game 6 and maybe even in a Game 7? This is a career-defining series for Nikola.